Also, thanks for testing the shout out thing when you arrive. I wanted to make sure that the syntax worked. Um, I forgot that one of my trigger words is hidden in. I'll have to. I'll have to reread all my little shout outs and make sure that they don't all have those. Welcome in, Kara. Welcome, Coopman. I will switch scene here in just a moment. If I mouse it there, and we will click the button, and there we go. Welcome to a very late start to Friday's stream. I had a lot of tech issues yesterday. Ready for the Lego sound? We are in the living room today, sitting on the couch. In the air conditioning. It is stupid hot outside. Yeah, I moved to the lounge floor. It is quite toasty in there. What I normally do when I stream at night is Kara has the aircon on in here, angled towards the garage door, and then where I sit, I'm in front of a fan that's sort of blowing the air through. But nah, not for a daytime, not for a daytime stream. What worked, Kara? So what I did, the laugh, yeah. What I did yesterday instead of going live, I played around with a few things. Behold the new overlay border um, over the camera. Condensed the um, social media tags down there. They're part of the same image, so instead of being a couple layers on the scene, it's only one. Um, and if you look up in that corner, there's I moved the goal to the corner, but a couple of days ago we hit the 200. So 200 followers, which is mind blowing for me. Anyway, but it does mean that probably after Christmas, the Nightmare Shark ship will get built over a couple streams. It's a decent sized set, that one. I also took the picture of the set I'm building off the scene. But when you do exclamation set to bring up the piece count and theme, etc. in chat, it should also bring up a picture in that corner. I was playing around with that this morning. Yes, welcome Coops, welcome Carrot, welcome Korg. Helps if I click on the right screen. Yeah, but if we do exclamation set, got both. So chat will have, and you can see that just, where's my hand? right above my hand here, right here, the set number, the name, the theme, when it was released, how many pieces, and all that sort of stuff. And then in that bottom corner of screen, the picture of the set shows up for a few seconds to show what it looks like when it's done. Trying out the camera on the tripod leaning on the table to get a kind of top-down view here. So you can kind of see what I'm doing, and I've flipped it so that you're seeing it from my point of view. And then what it does mean is I'll have to, every once in a while, there are some loose pieces that won't fall out, but tilt things towards the camera once they start getting sort of to this sort of height. So today we are finishing the stable of dream creatures. And yes, I chose to wear a Dream Theatre shirt while building Dreamzzz Lego. That was not a fluke. I am that kind of nerd. First minifig of the day. Keep forgetting the camera is flipped. There we go. One of those little green guys with a transparent ooze over his head. There we go. So we are opening bag 5. Have I got the lights on? Yeah, I don't know how well they show up because the overhead light in here is really bright. I don't have the ring light pointing at me at the moment. They're pointing here to try and take out some of this tripod shadow of the camera. So they're trying to light this up a little bit more in this area. Behind me, yes, these are on there. I don't know if you can see that against the shadow behind. So I don't have the stairwell light on. If the stair lights were on, you wouldn't see them again because the wall behind would light up a bit more. But yeah, the camera adjusts for the lighting in here quite well, really. So with this one on me, I've got it to be a little bit warmer, but the light in here is pretty bright, so it also kind of gets a bit pale and washed out up on top. But I'll work with what I got. All right, so we are on page 109 of our book. So opening bag 5, and we're going to start building the roof sections of the left and right wing of the stable. And what I also haven't got is I don't have tape down on the table to show where things show up on screen. So we'll kind of wing it. I'll scooch forward on the couch because I don't want to knock this camera over. It's precarious, to say the least. Alright. We're working on this wing of the stable. That goes there. Been a few weeks since I worked on this because that was the stream before we had our Octo week. Relaxing time off work and time away from doing a lot of things, really. That goes there. That goes there, and then we got a slope coming down here as well. What's everyone else up to on this fine, hot Saturday? Or cold Saturday if you're on the other side of the world. Yep. Just get it there. And then held in place for curved slope. One of those. Just a one by one brick. In here. And I bought a microphone cable yesterday, so that should ship soon. And then we can try out some sound things. Okay. Step 105. Flip that over. Two 1x2 plates. And we need a long dark turquoise plate running under there. And that shield. Okay, so this shield's going to clip in here and clip in at an angle. And that is indeed. The next page says put this in. Oh, that's clever. So that it kind of, the wing piece here, it goes up at an angle, but if it was just a straight plate, there'd be a bigger gap to the roof here. That wing basically cuts that out. And then this little curved cutout allows for some weird stuff to come up there. Now on this side, it looks like we're doing mirror image. I see a lot of the same pieces, so this is probably going to be, pardon me, a pretty identical construction, just mirrored. Not quite, different size brick, so 1x2, not 1x4, but that's the same, because it gets a slot brick for the other two studs there. But yeah, so far this is just mirroring the opposite wing. And what to do? Oh, that's right, I didn't put any stickers on yet. There's a sticker for this sign over the stable door. So we'll just put the plate there for now. Lock that in. Goes there. Like that. I had a productive morning. I woke up really early. Was able to catch a couple streams in other countries, other time zones that I wouldn't normally be awake for. and then went to the shops, picked up some click and collect Christmas presents, found another Christmas present for one of my parents, and then came home before it got too hot. And even at 10 o'clock this morning, it was not pleasant outside. Okay, and then that shield means that we've got that. The roof, so step 118 is putting that down into place. So it's starting to look pretty good. Look a little bit more like a finished building. Hey, Whippy! Did that. What's going on, Whippy? How warm is it on your side of the Pacific? There. And that one there. We've got trees growing up through the roof. "20 degrees and very wet." We had a short but violent storm yesterday. I've seen pictures from elsewhere in town where trees have been knocked over. We didn't have any of that here. We had some lightning, but it was back to being hot today. It was definitely over 30 outside at 9 o'clock this morning. Oh, I don't think I've ever seen a round 1x2 tile. I've seen the 2x4 that's over the stable door here. I've seen those. The front of a nearby supermarket came off in a twister. What? That's a bit much. And a guy knows grandma lost her roof. Oish. And only one spare from bag 5. And that goes in there. So there's new or newish leaf parts. And that goes on the front here. So there's the windmill. And as we looked at a few weeks ago when I started building this, take this forward. On the inside here, let me turn that. Not sure how well the inner Technic gears show up on your screens, but the wheel down in here turns as the blades turn. And because of the way these are both geared up in here for the play function, it actually spins the opposite way to the handle. So turning that turns the blades at the front the opposite direction, and it spins the column up the middle to grind the grain. Alright, spare part to one side. And bag 6 begins. Need a bit of water first. Yeah, so in the in the couple of weeks that I had off, there's a few new sound effects hidden around the place, some attached to commands, some hidden. There's some attached to bits, there's some attached to channel points. There's a couple new channel point things that I think are all running and ready to go. I need to find where I put this box to dig out bag 6. Found it. And then the plan for the next couple weeks is to basically change everything from this 2 bots currently running, change that down to 1, just streamline everything, and hope everything runs smoothly. I am using Firebot for most of it now, and Chatbot for some of the things. And some of the things trigger both bots. So until I fully copy every command over, there are some commands that will trigger a chat response from one bot and a sound effect from the other. Just because I haven't had time to sit down and do all the things. Ladders. Right. Look now has me looking at this from the back. The ladders clip on as a fence. Interesting that they stretch out off to the side. So I think I updated this possibly. So exclamation next brings up the planned schedule. So tomorrow, tomorrow will be some Christmas Lego sets, which was the plan for today if I'd streamed yesterday. I have to go back a page because I haven't built the minifig yet. So yeah, Sunday, Christmas Lego. Next Friday, more Christmas Lego. I've got some unbuilt sets. Like this Santa's Workshop from I think last year. That was a gift with purchase from the Lego store. I never got around to building it, so I'll do that tomorrow. And I've got some gingerbread ornaments, and so that'll be tomorrow. Next Friday, I've got other Christmas sets like a wreath and an elf house that were pulled apart at the start of the year. I'll put them back together to decorate the living room for Christmas time. Then I'll probably take a break over Christmas Eve and Christmas. But then the Friday, Saturday, Sunday after Christmas, we will finish the year with this bad boy. And spend a couple of days doing the shark ship. because as of a couple of days ago, the number of followers went from 199 to 200. I haven't done any yet, Kara. There were some automatic ones that popped up, but I didn't see if Whippy got one, which means I need to check if where's my list here? He's not. That's about to be fixed. And save. Kara's got one job to do. Stupid. She's gonna do it. No, I've set Firebot up with a list of viewer roles. So I've put a bunch of people in and told it that these are streamers that I follow. And so when you show up in chat, it should trigger a thing. If I refresh that really quickly, ignore the big bright white flash that just happened. Overlay has been refreshed, so it will probably trigger something now if Whippy says something again. Alright, so there's that minifig. She's built. There we go. That got triggered. And yes, Galaxy Quest, one of my favourite films. For many reasons. And during November, it made the cut. And if you're talking about the that shout out thing, Whippy, that's an inbuilt thing in Firebot. The only thing I tweaked was the wording at the under the picture. Yeah, it's automatically set up to animate in from the side. You can sort of change the color and the duration and how it animates in, sort of thing, and where it comes up on screen. I've put it to basically Firebot breaks the screen into a grid of 9 rectangles, and you can have it randomized so that it pops up in random spots. I've got it right center, and then I've moved chat from the right hand side where it used to be to down here. Yes, I like to pick a theme, and I like to watch movies that are all related in some way. And so for November, we watched Hell or High Water. We watched the latest Kenneth Branagh Poirot film. We watched Dodgeball. Didn't get to watch Anchorman, but that was on the list. We watched some of them. But basically they all featured mustaches for November. And Mr. Sam Rockwell qualified Galaxy Quest to make the cut for for November. Not just because I love the movie and I love his character in it. But yep, it fits the theme. We're going to watch it. And so there may be some Galaxy Quest triggers on this channel. You just have to know how to trip them. Yeah, Haunting in Venice was okay. Yeah, more Poirot is never a bad thing. And I liked Orient Express better the second time I saw it. The first time I was like, but I think also the first time I watched it, I just rewatched the original or the 70s version with Sean Connery and Albert Finney. I do prefer Branagh's Poirot to Finney's. And yeah, when I watched, and David Suchet, of course, I mean, he's just all the way. It's weird watching him in other things like Executive Decision and going, but that's Poirot. Why is he trying to hijack a plane? I think I'm looking at this. I think we're not building a deer. Has some interesting techniques in it. And yeah, the other thing in you thought Branagh was Ewan McGregor in those films until far too recently. I mean, I can see a facial similarity. Oh, you're bringing home snacks. Is it donuts? Oh, yeah. Right, goes there. So we've got a bunch of hinge clips sticking forward off these bricks, but the body's actually going to go that way down. So that's our deer body. Across there. And there. Oh yeah, the other thing, Whippy, with Firebot and the Easter eggs is when I figured out my counter problem. It's got the same printed eye as the bird from the Pegasus set. When I figured out the counter, yes, you have to make a separate counter for each phrase, each trigger. But it's very easy to right-click and duplicate. So once you've made one, so I made one command that was to count Easter eggs and just called it Easter eggs or whatever. And then I made a second counter and just named it after the trigger. Gave it a maximum of 1 to count to. And you basically give things effects. What do you want to happen when this gets triggered? And the event when the counter gets tripped is nothing happens. It just counts up by 1. But then you have a secondary trigger, which is what happens when this hits its maximum. And I went, okay, so now that I've made the maximum 1, when you hit maximum, trigger the master count. And the master count got triggered earlier on when one of my shoutouts contained a word that was an Easter egg. And so then the overall count goes up by 1 and triggers a message in chat saying X number of the total number of Easter eggs have been triggered. And so with that, then when you make what am I doing here? Why is... Oh, because I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this the side when I should be looking at the back. Because I'm looking at it the wrong way around. With the Easter egg phrases themselves, then each one of them you just give 2 effects. So 1 triggers the sound effect. Number 2 is tick the counter. Well, that's the thing. Every command in Firebot has an inbuilt thing telling you, how many times it's been triggered, but there's no way that I could find that as a variable. So it's counting it internally, but you have to sort of make a counter to do it. So yeah, basically all of mine, as soon as they hit 1, they'll keep triggering the sound forever every time they run, but triggering it to the maximum of 1 is what sets off the main counter to just go up each time a new phrase. So every time a phrase hits 1, the overall count goes up. The Easter egg counters are all just sort of hidden for the purpose of triggering the main one. But the duplicate made things a lot nicer. But I had to do all the counters first. And they're easy because they all have the same effect. They all trip the main count. I just had to rename them what they were going to be triggered by. And then I went to do all the commands. And the same thing. Make 1, duplicate it. And then every duplicate, just rename, choose a different sound file to trigger, and then tell it which counter to trip. Because it has a little drop-down menu and goes, which counter do you want to run? And so then I just had to assign each one to its counter, which was quicker than going in and creating one each time from scratch. So I was happy about that. And I was like, I can duplicate this. And then just edit, rename, edit, rename, edit, rename. And this is the sides of... Oh, cool. The number of times these claw pieces, or whatever they are, get used for like rocks, and in this case for like shaggy hair on the side of the deer. It's really cool. And then we get a white butt and a little tail. So that's the little body of the deer. And then, so one of the other things that that I worked on today was yesterday when I didn't stream, I made this new overlay that you see bordering me that contains the that way. I'm not mirrored. Contains the Facebook and Instagram handles there. That's all one image with a big transparency in the middle. So instead of having the camera, a wallpaper or an overlay, social media tags, chat, the set I'm building, the laptop camera, a transparent background for the chat, all of that as separate layers. What you see behind chat and Prosper. Thanks for lurking, Karen. We'll see you home in a bit after a few buses. So beneath this camera, basically from the bottom of screen to the top of screen is a transparency that goes from black to clear. And it's part of the blue border image. So it sits over whatever's on this camera here. So you can see my hand goes, you can still see it back here. And then I just have the chat in dark mode over the top of that. And it just gives a sort of second gray layer behind the chat. But on my old setup, that would have been 3 different layers. That's now just 2. And the social media and the overlay, that's now 1 layer instead of 2. Hey, Brickspace9, welcome in. How's it going? Whippy, when I had chat on screen, I had to write custom HTML and insert it into the settings of Mix-It-Up bot. Okay. Yeah, I just made I sort of guessed how much of the screen I wanted it to take up when I drew the overlay. And the free website I used to do my fake photoshopping didn't let me exactly sort of frame the rectangle, so the left border and the right border probably aren't the same. They were close. I did it by eye. I was like, yeah, I'll delete from about there to there, make that transparent, add a rectangle, make it go from black to white, and then flatten it all into. Speaking of flat, off to the flat pack land, the Scandinavian 4-letter brand store today. I think I know the one. I think I know it very well. There's one just down the road from me. And this is a clever way to make the hooved feet. You're going to have some köttbullar for lunch. There's the legs clipped in. And so because I can do different effects with these, so with the command of set, I now have that bring up the image as well as the that. So it brings up the picture in the corner. Brings up the picture in the corner and some somewhat sus commentary from the laser gamer. What I haven't found yet is a decent image of a bird of prey uncloaking. I found a GIF where it cloaks for when people lurk. But do you think I can find one where it reappears? Nope. Oh, I'm sure if I found a GIF editor and taught myself some stuff, I probably could. Using the GitHub code for the image? No, for the image, that's again a preset option for an effect. And there we have the counter getting set off. That's the first time that thing has been tripped. Where's the ting? It's on top of the ting with the ting. Oh, look at this. Got the newish curved tree trunk piece, and then we've got this like blaster gun with the studs on all sides piece being used as a neck and head for a deer. Is that some nice parts use or what? So yeah, one of the effects is to show an image or GIF. One is to, so with set, that has 3 effects on it. It sends a message to chat. It plays the MP3 of Laser Gamer talking about size, and it displays an image. And I made it, I think, 8 seconds all up, or 10 seconds. I think it fades in for 1 second or something, stays for 5 or 6, and then fades out for 1, something like that. And originally, when I just said, "Oh, show this image," it filled the screen like it was bigger than the screen resolution. So I had to then go in and say, when you show up, be in that corner and be 400 pixels wide. And that's what we have today. And there's our deer. And that pops in there. There we go. Yeah, that neck piece is in the ball joint. That's a nice shape. Cheers for the lurk, Whippy. Enjoy your dinner. Okay. She gets the brush. Two spares from that bag. One cheese slip, one 1x1 plate. And then we're on to the final bag. Bag 7. And bag 7 is where we get to the choose your own adventure part, as I like to call it, of the book. So I think I will. I gave Brickspace got a shout out. The who else was here? Coop and Korg were here at the start. I don't know if he shouted them out. I think you can. And are the Twitch ones still not working from your phone, or what's to go with that? All right, bag 7. And not behaving from phone. Okay. We do have ads coming up. I think I will have a bit of a stretch. And yeah, stretch. Grab some water to top up the hydrate. Thanks, Kara. I still haven't put anything to go with hydrate, so I'm glad I saw that. I need to find some sound to put with that. Okay, that must be on in both pots. Is it? Yes. It's been turned off in one of them now, so that won't double post again. But I will be right back. Okay, and we're back. I'm going to do both versions, so there'll be a little bit of building and unbuilding. But we're going to do the blue winged deer first, which then means the excess parts in this bag actually get used as part of the foliage around the stable, so the plants differ as well as the deer. So first off, get some blue leaf parts, and I'm getting a lot of glare on this instruction book. It's just at the wrong angle for my eyes. I do like that we're getting a lot of these 3-leaf pieces in different colors now. So the deer gets blue flowers on each hip and shoulder joint. That sounded like thunder again. Interesting. Okay, and then more of these leaf parts, but in turquoise this time. There's a wing, a blue leaf, a pale aqua flower, and that clips on there. And we do the same again. Here. Got deer with wings, and then floral antlers from the look of it. You know what I didn't grab? I didn't grab, but I think I might have, yes, I have a box of brick separators under the table. Should they be needed for the unbuild. And using the blue leaf part now as petals around the outside of this piece. Pretty cool. Round tile to cap them all off. And a brown paddle with the bar, and that will then hook into the antlers. And we're doing this 2 times. So there's our very strange blue winged floral deer. have started watching the Dream show. I'm a few episodes in. It has some weird stuff going on, but I like it. And when it comes to the parts used in the Lego sets, it's definitely growing on me. And then these magenta leaves are going into this tree. One end of the building. There. Top. And then we got some magenta coral pieces, which I'm going to get flowers stuck into them, and then they're going to stick sideways out like branches off these other sockets here. Just the colors and the angles of using different parts. It's just really cool. There we go. There's a closer look from on top of the pink trees and coral for branches. And then where are these going? Are these going into these green sockets at the back of the building, like so. So they'll look like sort of like tall, skinny pine trees. And then these carrot tops get stuck into the top of these two. And this just reminds me of doing like the dried flower arrangement. It's got a very similar technique. To get like a grain kind of effect. And this will go on these pillars on the side of the building. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. Yep, so I've done 5. One more round stud. One more crown eggshell piece. Yellow cone. And then we do that all again. again, and again. Yes, this would have been a longer stream a couple of weeks ago, except I had various internet issues back then and frame drop issues, none of which have happened today at all. The plan was to finish it yesterday, which again, tech got in the way. And today, no dramas, so all looking good. Okay, so those go up in there. And those bits are spares. Probably still going to be spares. Other version, there's Thunder again. Just going to take out his loaf of bread there, and there's some round studs there that might fall out. Take this back. There's the finished stable. As it starts to rain outside. So I'll set up my minifigs for that. There's a giant deer next to a minifig. Pose all these guys for a photo before we move on to the next thing. Let's try that with, no, not with the flash. We want torch. That's what we want. Okay, no, need another one. Alright, pictures are done. Time for the next. Windy outside, doors are rattling. Okay, so now we'll go back to page 146. Okay, and conveniently, it looks like most of these bits, possibly not the wings, but most of these bits are actually going to stay as they are. So like instead of the blue flowers there, these pink flowers off the tree go there instead. So it's pretty much just a straight swap onto there. And then the antlers are just the coral branches. I really like that look for the deer. And then these go, that one just comes there. These two stalks pop out those two sides of that tree. Where we had the magenta flowers before, now the blue ones swap onto this tree that just broke off. Back in. You get a blue flower. You get a blue flower. Okay, the only difference with the wing is that instead of being there, the flower is there. And it clips onto that carrot stalk. And this one clips onto that side. So those two go in the exact same position. And these flowers that were the antlers before are built exactly the same way to be the treetops on these two stems. So not so much an unbuild and rebuild as just a slight repurpose of what we've just built, which I do like. Similar to the bonsai tree is made so that you can detach. You build it in either the green leaf version or the pink sort of cherry blossom look. And you can build either, and you can easily swap the sections out. So there we have that version, and then the stalks at this end are exactly the same. So that's the version that's on the box. There's the pink antlers and the blue flowers behind the house. So that was the stable of dream creatures. A very cool set. I really like the angles of the building, the way that locks together in that curved shape. The angles on the roof are really cool. Hold it back up for you to see this version. So we've got the turquoise wings being the tree on that side, and then we've got the blue tree on this side. Very, very cool. Quite sturdy, except for that plate under the front step. Not designed to be carried around by the middle, obviously. Yeah, brilliant use of colours. That's for sure. I don't think the deer fits in the stable, so I'm not sure what is going on here. We've got the mill, we've got the kitchen, we've got the little dining area in here. But in here, don't think there's any way this deer is going to fit. Even if we hinge those legs down, bend the neck, no, that's still not really gonna. Yeah, doesn't even fit through the door. Not with the flowers on there anyway. To grab a horse or something and chuck it in there. Alright, so that was Stable of Dream Creatures. One more in the Dreamzzz Buildathon from the other week. The next Dream set will be after Christmas. So I'll do exclamation next again. So there's the upcoming schedule. So the plan is now I've kind of settled into what I think my schedule is going to be. It'll be Friday, Saturday, Sundays most weeks, except for Christmas week, or the weekend before Christmas. I'll take those couple of days off from streaming. But then after Christmas, it's Nightmare Shark Ship time, which has, from memory, 1,200, 1,300 pieces or something like that. I could check very quickly. If only we had access to Brickset. Brickset.com. And looking for 71469. 1,389 pieces, there we go. Which is going to take a little bit. It'll take more than one stream. It'll probably take more than two streams. And so that'll start on the afternoon of Friday the 29th. Before that, I've got some Christmas Lego to build, so come hang out tomorrow and next Friday for some Christmassy Lego shenanigans. And then it'll be onto the Shark Ship, which is also the set I put aside to celebrate hitting 200 followers on Twitch, which happened a couple of days ago. So that's pretty cool. Very excited about that. Very unexpected to hit those numbers. I've only been streaming since like halfway through the year. I think July or August, somewhere there. So to have found the community on here that's, as into different things, makers and crafting of all sorts, mostly Lego, but all sorts. Been very welcoming, supportive, and it's been fun. So that's the plan for the next couple of days. And that was, I'll bring that back up again. We'll hit lazy one more time. It is a decent size. It isn't. It is. It does. Thanks, Brickspace. We are going to clear all these notifications on my phone for all these things in different apps. Go away. Let's see. Is anyone building Lego? You know what? Let's go over to these. These guys were a big part of getting me to the 50 followers and hitting affiliate status. So we can go share some love. If I can spell. Oh, and I should do this as well. Okay, prepare for roaming speed. So if you want to copy the raid message there, the top one is for followers, the bottom one is for subscribers. We are going to go say good day to Prophet DNA and Mrs. Prophet. So thank you everyone for being here today, and we'll see you on the next stream. Bye for now.